Hi, this is Holly of Holly's Soapmaking. I thought I'd do a short video on how I made some dragon soaps for a friend using some cute molds I found online. I'll provide the recipe at the very end, but if you're new to soap making or just want more information than I provide in this shorter than normal video, I'll list some of my more detailed videos in the description box below. And just a quick reminder that soap making does involve the use of sodium hydroxide, or lye, which is a caustic substance that can burn your skin and permanently damage your eyes. So be sure to learn and follow lye-safe handling procedures whenever making soap. I chose the color palette you see here and prepared each colorant so they would blend easily into the soap. The clays and water-soluble titanium dioxide were mixed with distilled water, while the chromium oxide, ultramarine violet, and activated charcoal were blended with olive oil. I blended until reaching a very light trace and then divided the soap into 6 containers, 1 cup for each darker color and 2 cups for the white. I've made these dragon soaps several times in the past. I always try to distribute the colors around the mold as best I can. I've even done some solid colors that turned out great, so if you don't want to mess with all these colors, you could just pick 1 or even 2 colors instead. wanted all of these to go through gel phase so they'd come out of the molds quicker and easier, so I placed them all into my largest slab mold and then oven processed them. I preheated my oven to its lowest temperature, then turned it off and placed the soap inside, leaving it overnight. I kept the oven light on for about 2 hours just to help maintain the warmth inside the oven a bit longer. I removed the soaps from the oven the next morning and left them covered on the counter for another 24 hours. All of the silicone molds release the soap easily, but these plastic molds, at least for me, have to go in the freezer for a few hours. After removing them from the freezer, they start to thaw and the soap usually slides right out, but it can take a few minutes or longer. Since this is a cold process soap, I left the top of lye set to sodium hydroxide or NaOH. My recipe oil weight was 1,300 grams. To come up with that number, I just did a rough volume calculation based on how many molds I was using. I created a bit too much soap and would probably reduce it by about 100 grams the next time I make these. My lye concentration was set to 35%, which means my lye solution consisted of 35% sodium hydroxide and 65% distilled water. I left the superfat at 5% and my fragrance usage rate was 40 grams per kilogram. Once you have everything entered, you just select to calculate the recipe, then to view or print it. SoapCalc will give you a really nice listing of all of your ingredients, including the amount of sodium hydroxide required to saponify your oils. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found something useful here to help you in your soap making.